This is the Common Constitutionalist with the Common Constitutionalist Weekly Podcast, where I will be talking about climate change, global warming, and the fact that the Trump government website has removed any hint of global warming and Obama's initiatives. Hooray for that. And I go through an article by Motherboard.com, a lefty, loony website, which is decrying just that fact. Today on the Common Constitutionalist.
You are listening to the Common Constitutionalist, broadcasting from an undisclosed location, free from the prying eyes of establishment black helicopters.
Welcome to the first podcast. Maybe, I don't know, I'm hoping to call it the first Freedom Podcast, but who knows? No one knows what Trump's going to do at this point. But we do know one thing. Obama is history. Thank heavens that we lived through it. Thank heavens that we got through the 8 years. No way you can say unscathed, obviously, because he's done hopefully not permanent damage to the United States, but he's done some serious damage to the United States, both domestically and internationally. And as we always say, time will tell. As far as Trump's concerned, time will tell. But this is this is great stuff. This is probably the only thing I'm going to get to today. This is from Motherboard. It's a site devoted to everything leftist and wacky. I understand that that's redundant, calling something leftist and wacky, because it's synonymous, basically. The left is synonymous with silliness and wackiness. And unhingedness. Is that a word, unhinged? Well, it is now. So on Friday at 11... When did they published this, they posted this at 12:26 p.m. on Friday, okay? So here we go. And this is frankly, this is great stuff. At 11:59 a.m. Eastern. They didn't say Eastern Standard or Eastern whatever, but whatever, I guess that's assumed. At 11:59 a.m. Eastern, the official White House website had a lengthy information page about the threat of climate change and the steps the federal government had taken to fight it. At noon, now I added this, at the instant Donald Trump took office, the page was history. It was gone, as well as any mention of climate change or global warming. Oh, boo freaking who. I mean, I read this and it was like, confetti in the air. Cheers and wails of joy. It's unbelievable. So at exactly the strike of noon, the second that the Trumpster took inauguration, it was history. It was just, this is a good sign. This is a very good sign. But we continue. Now, Motherboard, I don't know if they have any affiliation with Mother Jones or whether it's just the whole Mother Earth nonsense, the little crunchy, granola-eating, sandal-wearing weenies, who knows, that are all for Mother Earth, so they do Mother Jones and Motherboard and Mother this and Mother that. I don't know, whatever. At any rate, they write, it's customary for www.whitehouse.gov to flip over to the new administration exactly at noon. But the only... you gotta love this. But the only mention of climate on President Trump's new website is under his, quote, America First Energy page, in which he vows to destroy President Obama's Climate Action Plan, which is a government-wide plan to reduce carbon emissions and address climate change. Hello, climate change. I just addressed climate change. Thank you. Have a nice day. I'll be here all week. Now they wanted to stress, so they wrote they wrote to reiterate, it is normal that the site is completely new. It is notable that climate change is not mentioned on any of Trump's new pages. I think that's notably fabulous, frankly. They're in a panic over it, but that's notably fabulous. The news site says that President Trump is committed to eliminating harmful and unnecessary policies such as the Climate Action Plan and the Waters of the U.S. Rule. Yes, that's another fabulous, wonderful thing, the Waters of the U.S. Rule. The Waters of the U.S. Rule are such that the EPA controls every drop of water in America and probably everything else. If you have a mud puddle in your driveway and you want to sweep it aside or vacuum it up or do whatever, soak it up somehow or get rid of it, you have to get a grant or a waiver from the EPA in order to evacuate that mud puddle. That sounds ridiculous, but that's about as bad as it has gotten under McCarthy and her Stalinist EPA. Oh crap! Look at the time. Let's take a quick break from my droning, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Common Constitutionalist. Let the truth be known.
So let me just go back after I've digressed to this point. Quote, President Trump is committed to eliminating harmful and unnecessary policies such as the Climate Action Plan and the Waters of the U.S. Rule, the site says. A search of the website found no mention of global warming, and the only mentions of climate change were archived pages after clicking on the links led to the scrubbed pages. Scrub-a-dub-dub, climate change in the tub, baby. Right down the drain. I love it. And then the article went on to do a screen capture of here's what President Obama's climate change page used to look like, dreamingly. Woohoo! So it was a lovely picture of two communist leaders, Xi Jinping of China and, of course, our communist leader, Barack Obama, smiling and looking into each other's eyes as they discuss climate change, and Xi Jinping thinking in the back of his head, but not saying out loud to Obama, what a schmo you are, you stupid American, thinking that we actually do give a crap about climate and climate change and global warming, or we believe any of this nonsense that you're spewing out. That's what Xi Jinping is saying to himself. What a dimwit Obama is. As he smiles at Obama, yeah. So below the lovely picture of the two commie leaders are drop-down menus for energy, or lack thereof in his particular case. Climate change, there's a drop-down menu for climate change and one for the environment. And it's all just lovely. So at the stroke of high noon on Friday, hooray, baby, the page just disappeared. Woof, just disappeared and replaced with, quote, the requested page /energy/climate change could not be found. Yay. That's fabulous. Just glorious is what it is. It's a glorious day. Who knew a cloudy winter's day in New England could be such a happy thing? And then they ramped up the hysteria, because that's what leftists have to do. They have to keep the hysteria on. They have to keep everybody on edge, and they've got to keep it ramped up to heightened levels so that people, the hysterical, will continue to fight for the cause, for want of a better term. They say that scientists and professors from around the country had been rushing to download and rehost as much government science as possible before the transition, based on a fear that the Trump administration would neglect or outright delete government information, databases, and web applications about science. Can I ask a question here, if I might digress again? What's government science? What the heck is that? Is it different from regular science or something? Because I wasn't aware. I didn't know that such a thing as government science actually existed. I thought it was just science. But I guess not. It's not right. Maybe government science and real science are different because one's real and one isn't. Maybe that's it. Maybe government science is science that exists to advance government and to advance government grants and largesse. Maybe that's the difference between real science and government science. And I think I've got it on the newsy on that one. But as far as the government side, what did they say here? Let's see. The downloading an effort to downhost and rehost as government science, as much government science as much as possible, because of the transition. They're afraid that Trump's just going to wholesale delete everything, and so they're in a rush. So they had a podcast. Motherboard had a podcast recording an episode of these efforts. And you can listen to it if you like, but I wouldn't bother, because basically the podcast is just a representation or a representative for a bunch of so-called scientists, which are basically just government hangers-on who owe their entire existence to government largesse and grants, and claim that the atmosphere of acceptance during the Obama administration has turned into an atmosphere of foreboding, running up to the Trump inauguration, and it's like an NPR broadcast where the speakers, the people talking on it, it's just icky. You can hear it. It's replete with academic condescension. You can just feel the condescension rolling through the speakers at you as if they're the smartest people on the planet, and how dare anyone try to delete, remove, or even archive the important work that they've been doing in government science. And here I go again, droning on. Let's take another quick break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Common Constitution. Let the truth be known.
Now, on the podcast, they say that this all sounds like paranoia, of course, but they're not paranoid, because they know conservatives. This is what conservatives do, that they delete and remove scientific information all the time. That's what they do, particularly government science information, and it all sounds rather Hitlerian, because it's meant to, and this is the mental picture they're trying to put in the nimrods that listen to this crap. That's just what they're trying to put into their heads, that they're Hitlerian. One woman in the podcast actually did mention book burning. This is what they're trying to evoke with these fools, these crunchy granola-eating, sandal-wearing fools that listen to this crap and buy into the man-made global warming bullcrap. And they have to. These people have to keep their fears have to be continually fomented to keep them motivated to be able to fight the man, for want of a better term. Oh, and they also have to keep the believers, they have to keep their focus away from the obvious that there's been no global warming since 1998, which coincidentally, we've had two major El Nino events in the past decade or so. One was in 1998 when they claimed it was the warmest ever in the history of the planet, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then this year. Both have been El Nino events. It's a natural occurring event. And then after that, what happens is the Earth adjusts and we go back to whatever normal is. There is no normal. The climate changes all the time. I'm not even going to get into that. It's just such crap. But that's what these climate weenies, they need to do. They have to keep the fear at a pitched level. They need to keep these people scared, but not scared enough to drive them into some sort of Jonestown style mass suicide event. They don't want to do that. They just want to go right up to the hysteria line, just so that people keep donating their time and their money and their efforts and keep buying into the bull crap, so the next time they've got a chance to run with this, that's what they're going to do. In the meantime, they have to keep the hysteria up, so they have enough people to go out and protest and fight the man, and the man being obviously Trump and his administration now. But a funny thing, a funny thing happened as you read this article. Well, you don't read this. As I read this article, is the article was originally posted at 12:26 p.m. Okay, the hysteria was at a pitch level, and the whole world was going to end because the website was gone, climate change was gone, global warming was gone, everything was just deleted, gone. Okay, that's what they thought. So at 2:28 p.m., they had to come out and sheepishly admit that the stuff wasn't deleted. It was a normal transition thing, and the stuff was just archived. So instead of just saying, oops, we were wrong, this is a normal transition thing, and this is what happens, that the new administration comes in, everything's taken down from the old, and the new administration puts up what they like, what they want to work on. That's what happens every single time. So the stuff wasn't deleted. It was just merely archived. So instead of just saying, oops, we were wrong, they wrote, quote, the concern that has been stated by many scientists is that the turnover from a pro-science administration to one that has publicly denied climate change will make it much more difficult to find good information on the topic from the government. Okay, so now they haven't deleted anything, okay, and they've archived it, but they're going to make it really hard for you to find. So they're still just as evil and Hitlerian. They may not have burned the books, but they've hidden them from you. And don't you just love the fact that they just throw this stuff out there? Many scientists, pro-science administration, that if you don't buy the whole climate change bull crap, and I'm so sick of this using this freaking word climate change, because that's what the climate does. It changes. So let's go back to global warming, because that's what they really mean. I'm not buying into the progressive line here. That's what they do all the time. They never change anything. They just change the word. They soften it. It's homosexual becomes gay. All right? It's just, I'm sick of it. I'm just sick and tired of it. And it ain't climate change. It's global warming. That's what they mean when they say climate change. But they have to, climate change is, without getting into it, it's the easiest thing in the world, because no matter what, the climate's going to change. That's what it's always done. That's what it always will do. And let's take one more break while I decompress a little bit, take a breath, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Common Constitutionalist. Let the truth be known.
So these many scientists, who are they? I mean, how many are there? Where are they? I don't know. There are probably a half a dozen or a dozen of them, just like all these other leftist groups that are tiny, tiny, tiny little minorities. There's a few people that go on the website and make it look like there's thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers or advocates or whatever. And that's what happens here. And the fact that, because you don't believe in their climate change bullcrap, their global warming bullcrap, then you're not pro-science. Oh, and another another nice little bonus, another nice feather in the cap, so to speak, that they also were bemoaning the fact that the LGBTQ website was taken down too. Now we all know, obviously, that this is we know that this is a normal transition event, that everything Obama gets taken down and everything Trump gets put up. And if the Trump administration isn't concerned with it, it doesn't go up, or it doesn't take front page news, so to speak. And I just find it fabulous. I hope it doesn't go back up. I hope there's nothing on climate change in the Trump on the Trump government websites, and I hope there's nothing on the LGBTQEIEIO bullcrap. This stuff just ticks me off. Just even think of it. Such nonsense. So I don't know why I always do this. I start getting ramped up and I get really angry at the end of these podcasts when I should be, ramping it down, so to speak. I should be coming to a conclusion and just letting it go. But it always ends on some sort of silly crescendo that it just ticks me off just to think about this crap. That the government's even involved in any of this stuff. Look in the Constitution that none of this crap is in the Constitution. Nothing. None of this infrastructure crap that Trump wants to do. None of this stuff that Obama's done or the Bushes or anything, even Reagan. I mean, the federal government isn't supposed to be involved in any of this garbage. And just the fact that we've got a federal government website that just goes on and on ad infinitum about every little topic because they're involved in every little aspect of our lives. There's something wrong here. And it's just, as much as I'm encouraged so far by Trump's actions, it doesn't seem like so far that he's interested, or this administration's interested in shrinking the government with the big infrastructure spending and the fact that he wants to get rid of the payments to the UN Climate Fund, and that's great. But rather than getting rid of the payment to the UN Climate Fund and just striking it off of the books, just striking it off of the federal government books, he's going to shift it to another government program. And that's what I don't like about this process. I'm encouraged by what he's done, and he's got a clean slate with me, and so far, so good. If he does stuff on first day type of deal, I published an article for Saturday, I guess it was, just yesterday, putting down the 10 steps that the Chicago Tribune and the AP said that this is what he claims he wants to do on his first day. And if he does that, that's fabulous. I'm encouraged by it. And I really do want to support him. I really do want to support him. And he could do a fabulous job. But so far, it doesn't look like his administration, like the last one or the one before it or whatnot, wants to shrink government one iota. They don't want to get rid of the Department of Energy. They don't want to get rid of most of the EPA, if not all of it, because the states could handle it. The Food and Drug Administration. There's all these worthless government programs, departments could all be downsized drastically or go away completely because they're unconstitutional. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. I know I'm a pie in the sky idealist when it comes to this stuff, but someday somebody is going to stand up and say, we shouldn't be in any of this stuff. Someday somebody's going to take the Calvin Coolidge route and just say, you know what? We're cutting government by 50%, and if you don't like it, vote me out. And that's too bad. It's just too freaking bad. 50% right off the top. If you don't like it, too bad. Get a job. So I guess that's... I don't know how I got onto this, but at any rate, I guess that's all I've got. This is the Common Constitutionalist signing off for another week, and it's been a pretty glorious weekend so far. I'm happy. The left is unhappy, and frankly, that makes me happy. And so that's all I've got. I am out. Go Pats. Go Patriots. Prediction, it's going to be 27-24 Patriots. So we got another run to the Super Bowl. Boy, howdy, I sure hope I'm right. I hope it's not that close, but I don't think so. We'll see. I don't know. That's it. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Common Constitutionalist Weekly Podcast.